Welcome to OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell, aka OG Lowe. Yeah, I promised y'all that I was gonna go live WrestleMania weekend. This is about the first. This is about the first part of the WrestleMania weekend. Right now, 1 o'clock NXT. That's like the farm league of WWE. Those jokers in there be hungry. Now, this first match that's coming up right about now. It's about a bunch of. It's like a women's like some kind of match with some of the ladies, and one of the ladies that's in there that's participating. They say she kind of look like a thugged out Mariah Carey, but you better not tell her that to her face because she'll kick your tail. But anyway, so much about the NXT. The main match I'm concerned about, believe it or not, Braun Breaker and Carmella Hayes. But just to let you know, whether or not whether Braun whether or not whether Braun Breaker wins or lose, but to be honest with you, if he lost, that's a great chance of him going to the main roster, either Raw or SmackDown. Now, I rather for Carmelo Hayes to have the belt because he need more time to get his work together before he make it to the main roster. And I think Braun Breaker has a better chance of making the main roster either Raw or SmackDown than Carmelo Hayes. Still got a little more work to do. Don't get it twisted. He's good. But Braun Breaker, I think it was already set for him to get ready to go to the roster because his first started at NXT, man was dominant in a way. The most dominant NXT champion. Now peek this, y'all. This Joker made Tommaso Ciampa tap out, and y'all know how tough Tommaso Ciampa was. That was a beast. Braun Breaker made him tap out. So what that? But a lot of people remember this too, y'all. Y'all forgot who his dad and who his uncle were. Rick and Scott Steiner. Yes, that's Braun Breaker's father. I remember he was going to school in Georgia. He made the news and everything, playing high school football. And look, I kind of figured he was going to fall into his dad and uncle's footsteps because even though the Steiner brothers was in WWF or E once upon a time, man, but I'm gonna tell you that they dominated those. Tell you the truth, they dominated WCW though, for real. And they were like one of the greatest tag teams in WCW history, other than the Road Warriors, if you ask me. But Doom was pretty good too. I liked it, Doom. Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Well, Ron Simmons and Bruce Reed. Y'all know him as Butch. I made him as Bruce. Yeah, but so much for that. What I want to talk about, y'all. Oh yeah, before I get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the like and subscribe button. I guarantee you won't be disappointed in it. And please, please, y'all can do it from the kindness of your heart. That's all I ask. Thank you very much. But anyway, get back to what I was saying. I was checking out the WWE Hall of Fame last night. All the ones who got inducted. Stacy Keibler. I remember her when she started as a Nitro dancer on WCW. Then a week, and quick as it was like a week. She made it to the main roster, and then she went to WWE when WCW folded, and Vince McMahon bought them. So I kind of hated that too. That no more WCW because man, WCW was the SHI triple double T in the South. WWF, like I said, back then, it was all about territory. But so much for that. Okay, and the next person was Andy Kaufman. How that little son of a sucker make it in wrestling? I mean, he was a lifelong wrestling fan. I give him that. I give him his props because he loved the sport. And he's no longer with us. So God rest his soul. And another person who wasn't there was the referee, Mr. White. Tim White, whatever his name, Tim White, I believe. I mean, everybody. I saw that every wrestler loved him. He had to be super duper good. I mean, cause referees don't get that much recognition, but he did. And and the ones who wasn't there, I mean, it made me feel good to see their families, in their honor, accepting their award. And then look, it was good to see JBL and Farouk, Ron Simmons, together last night. Man, I love them as the APA. Them joker, they were, man, them ballroom, man, I love to see them ballroom fights, man, with them. I love the APA. They became like one of my top favorite tag teams back at that time. But then, a lot of people didn't know. Ron, when they had to break up, well, Ron Simmons was getting ready to retire. But he did tell JBL that he was going to be world champion. And he did. JBL was world champion. And he was a wrestling god. Yes, he was. And the one I'm about to, and the great Muta, even though I never really seen him in WWE or WWF, but he was pretty popular in Japan. And he was pretty popular in WCW too as well. I remember when he first came to WCW back in the 80s. Yeah, the late 80s. And I remember going to a match where I forgot who it was. I think he was wrestling Eddie Gilbert, and they had the Great American Bash at the Omni. Yes, I remember that. That was back in '89. And I remember Gary Hart saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, y'all about to witness Eddie Gilbert get his ass kicked by the Great Muta." I do remember that. I mean, and despite what people thought about Gary Hart, shoot, man, Gary Hart was cool, man. Dude from Chi-Town. Right on, Gary Hart. He's no longer with us either. God bless him. But right on, Gary Hart. You from Chi-Town, baby. You know what time it is. You a bad man. You might be kind of on the outside, but get what, man? On the inside, you had more soul than what people thought, and you didn't give a heck of a darn about them rules. Right on, Gary Hart. Yeah, he was one of my favorites too. But if he was here, he will root. I mean, he was one. He's one of my favorite managers. Tell you the truth, Jimmy Hart was one of my favorite managers as well when he accepted the honor for Andy Kaufman. Yeah, but man, Jimmy Hart. And let me tell y'all another thing about Jimmy Hart. The Joker can sing, and a lot of people didn't know he was actually in the group before he actually decided to go into wrestling. Yeah, Jimmy Hart was in the. Now y'all know why Jimmy Hart can sing. That Joker got some pipes now. I don't care what y'all say about Jimmy Hart. That is sing. And another song, I want y'all to think about this. You remember Dusty Rhodes' entrance? American Dream. Yeah, that was Jimmy Hart. Yeah, I said, when I found, I said, that Joker can really sing. When it came to, now you know why, now you see why Jimmy Hart was so damn cool. He can sing. Tell you the truth, man, to be honest with you, if you can sing, we in good company. Okay, now, the one I want to talk about in the Hall of Fame, Rey Mysterio. I didn't know that joke was that young when he started. And then my boy who inducted him, Conan, arriba la raza, whatever he say. But anyway, he was cool as I don't know, looking like Fat Joe's brother, and looking like big components of don't want to be a player no more. I ain't a player, I just curse a lot. Yeah, but anyway, but that was a beautiful speech what Conan did for Rey Mysterio. It was beautiful. I mean, and then one thing I love about the Latinos, the Hispanics, and the Mexicans, man, when they show love, they show love. And you better not cross them either. But one thing about it, I mean, I know we had this injustice in this country, but I will say this. I never had no problem with nobody other than the ones here in this who are so-called born in this country. But so much for that. But that was a beautiful speech. And then when Ray was about, the man, all his accomplishments, and then his son. Oh, I like to get that. I get a hold of that little mother. I swear to God. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. But like I was saying though, the way how he disrespected his daddy, him and that old heifer who looked like a demonic, who like one of the demonic eurythmics, Judas Priest combined, and Damian Priest looking like a bass player who can't sing, and Dominic just a punk. Thought he was hard because he went to jail. They probably were tossing his salad without the probably not the lining out his tails. But anyway, but for real though, I did not like how Dominic and the judge and Rhea and Damian Priest did. I mean, that was very disrespectful what they did. And anybody that, and you know what though, it probably was staged for that night. They probably want to put on the show for the Hall of Fame, but in reality, that little punk would have got his tail whooped for real. If he was one of us, and he pulled some shit like that, he would have got his ass whooped for real. I would have been the one that tore his ass up. A little shiti. I don't like how he disrespected, and I hope and pray tonight that Rey Mysterio give that little bastard the butt whipping his mama should have gave him when he came out the daggone womb. For real. Look, I'm not trying to advocate violence, but that dude need his butt whooped for real. I mean, he need when Rey Mysterio get him in that ring, he need to discipline that little punk. He need to remind him what an ass whipping feel like. But that Friday when he decked him, when he disrespected his mama, and then did you see the stupid look on his face? I would have been like, shut your punk ass up. You think you want to be grown? I'm gonna treat you like you're grown. I brought you in this world, and I'm gonna take your look out. You look for real. That's my action. I wouldn't have let up like Ray did. I would have kicked. I would have whooped his tail. I mean, look, y'all. It might be script. They might have a script like that, but still, you don't disrespect your parents. I mean, with parents. I mean, I'm a parent, and parents are not perfect. We f up too, but at the same time, I mean, I love. I mean, I ain't worried about nobody else, but I love my girls. I wouldn't do nothing to hurt or harm them. And I wouldn't want them to disrespect me, and I wouldn't disrespect them in no kind of way. But how disrespectful Dominic is toward his daddy, that's no excuse. And then he gonna try to act hard because he went to jail. So, hell, I ain't never went to jail. But a lot of people, let me tell you something, boy. You think going to jail is a badge of honor? You think it's cool because you were locked behind a damn 4x5 cell? Man, you crazy. You don't really want to be there. Now, if you would have went to prison, you better start worrying, you little punk. Because the first thing they gonna do, they gonna throw you in there. They don't care. You ain't got no choice of who they throw you in. And guess what? They gonna throw you in there and they gonna say, give him somebody to play with. And guess what though? You go to prison, they gonna lock you up with some psychotic, crazy joker. So crazy he'll beat the hell out of you. Don't even realize he did it. So If you smart, Dominic Gutierrez, Mysterio, in real life his name is Gutierrez. Let me tell you something, boy. If you're smart, you'll do the right thing, and you'll I hope if after your father kick your butt, you better apologize to him. You better tell him you love him, and you better tell your mama too that you sorry for everything. You better be the respectable son that your daddy brought you in the world, and he will take your little young ass out. I promise you that. Forgive me, y'all. I'm sorry, but on the real, for real though, point I'm trying to make. No matter what, I don't care. You don't disrespect your parents. I mean, and the way he did it, he needed his butt whooped. But if I had the power, I would have went to Los Angeles with the thickest belt and tore his little tail up and remind him what a butt whipping felt like. He wouldn't be able to sit down or stand up after I get through a little punk. But for real, I mean, I found that what he did last night at the Hall of Fame inexcusable, and I had to talk about it on this show, on this podcast today. I mean, and pardon the language, pardon the profanity, but it just made me so darn mad about how that fool carried on at the Hall of Fame ceremony. I mean, man, that's your daddy. And then I saw before they presented, I saw how you sitting up there looking. You and your little, you and your little demonic girlfriend. Yeah. What is it, boy? Is she that good? Is she that good, man? Well, you got to be disrespectful to your daddy. Let me tell you something, punk. Ain't no piece of coochie that good to make you want to disrespect your parents. Like I said, if I had it my way, I would come to California with the thickest belt, find a woodshed in Los Angeles to take you behind and beat your tail. I mean, I know I'm a parent. I make some mistakes. I pissed my girls off, and they know I love them, and I let them know I'm sorry, and they know that, and I do love my girls. But man, and then another thing I want to tell you, boy, I didn't like how you talked to your sister. Not alone your mama, your sister, man. If I was your sister, I would have got a rock and knocked your little tail out. For real. I'm still pissed off about how you disrespect. It's one thing you disrespecting your daddy, but when you bring your mama and your sister in it, you need your butt whooped. All of them need to gang bang and kick your tail. They need to beat your butt they need to give you the butt whooping like you should have got when you first came out the womb, you little punk. Now, like I said, it might be staged. I mean, whatever they do, whatever this might be a storyline in this stage, but me, it's personal. I mean, look, I think even though I lost my father 2 years ago, but I thank the Lord that I still have my mom. And and for those who blessed with both of your parents still here, man, love them and cherish them, man. I mean, they not. I mean, and don't listen to that bull about deadbeat daddies. If you want to talk about, they want to talk about deadbeat fathers. They need to talk about them bitter baby mamas. Yeah, for real. Y'all want to make the men look bad, but what about these old bitter slut ass baby mamas? For real. They going around talking about, and then a lot of y'all want more, y'all want more than what y'all deserve. I mean, come on now, stop. I mean, not just women, but men too. Stop using people. Stop using people like that. Stop playing with people's hearts and emotions and minds and stuff. If you won't do that, you might as well sign. You might as well sign to go into WWE and get your ass whooped, because that's what's going to happen if y'all don't stop doing what y'all doing, because all that using and lying and playing with people's hearts and all that, that's not even called for. I mean, look now. Look, for real though. Back to what I'm about to say about Dominic, and I'm glad the other the luchadors stood up and told him how disrespectful he was to his father. What they since the judgment day want to come out, bring them out there too. So if old Damian Priest want to act up, somebody. I used to think Damian Priest was cool, but the way he act is not cool. I mean, and then Real, I thought she was cool too. But like I said, she looked so demonic. She like one of them rock singers, Judas Priest. You got another thing coming. Yeah, she looked like one of them, look like one of the rock singers she sang in a rock group that worship the devil, like ala bala boo, ala boo. That's what she looked like. And then Finn Fowler, he looking like a demonic U2, looking like a demonic leprechaun as well. I want me gold. And Dominic, man, I know you want to boost I know you want to take your career to another level. And if you want to be a heel, man, I mean, it's one thing of being heels, but when you disrespectful toward family members, I got a problem with that. If you just disrespect, especially your daddy, man, you want to do that. Like I said, it might be part of the storyline, but some people, some of us civilized people out here that watch wrestling don't see it that way. I mean, how you gonna disrespect your mama and your daddy? Not only they brought you in this world, but they made all kind of sacrifices. They put your crazy butt in school. They 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 put their butts on the line, you know, while you're in school, and you gonna act like that towards your father, man. If I was to see you, man, I mean, now if I was a wrestler, and if I was to see you, if I was stepped in the ring, I'll give you 5 of these pat cross your lips and knock your teeth out. And you'll be wearing imitation dentures. Yes, you would. And look, man, but for real though, man, is that storyline worth it to let the world know how disrespectful you are, especially towards your daddy? Bruh. I don't mean for it to sound personal, but you really need to get yourself together, man. That's not called for. It might help it might be good for business, but that don't set well with me, man. For real, that don't set well. And again, I apologize for the profanity, my ranting and all that, but I just don't. But disrespect your parents. It just do something to me, man. I mean, I guess because I'm older now, and I'm a parent of 2 daughters, and y'all know I love them. I'm not perfect, but I love them girls very, very much, and they know it. But I just can't stand to see. I just can't stand disrespectful people, kids especially. I don't care how grown you think you feel and you think you are. You ain't never too grown for your parents. They'll still knock the hell out of you and won't even think nothing about it. And it's like Fred say, give you a 5 across your lips. Well, I'm gonna say it like Carlos. Put hang 12, size 12s up your tail. That's me right there. I break my foot off in his tail if that was my son. I will put the fear of God in that little joker. Especially if you disrespectful like that, I will put the fear of God in you. But to be honest with you, you supposed to get them when they're young, and everything start at home. But I hope, in reality, I hope that dude's not as disrespectful as it looks on TV, because to be honest with you, And guess what? India Hartwell just won the NXT Women's Champion. Praise the Lord. And look, a lot of y'all don't know that's Dexter Lumis's wife. You know the one who don't say nothing, and he is so cool with it. I loved him when he was in NXT. That Joker was so cool. He didn't even have to say nothing. And guess what? He gained a lot of fanfare when he was in NXT. But when him and India Hartwell were married, you know, at first Johnny Gargano, he was all, you know, this was in the storyline. He was all against him and stuff, but old Johnny had to give in. And I'm glad he did, because now he's in the main roster. That dude is the daggone truth. I mean, he was the truth in NXT. Little joker like him, the way that dude fight and wrestle, he might not be the biggest joker, but that joker got heart. Yes, he do. He has heart. And that's why I love him so much. That's why I love him as a wrestler. I see him in the main roster kick tail. But like I said, Dexter Lumis, he just, man, that joker just cool. He don't even have to say nothing. And you could already see the definition of the word cool. But another thing too, but one thing I give props to about Johnny Gargano, when he mentioned the NXT, he said, my son-in-law. I thought that, man, when he said that, even though it was staged, but I mean, that was enough to make you smile. When especially when somebody who thought you didn't like them, but but later on what gets it is when push comes to shove, they acknowledge you with respect and love, and you know they trust you if they acknowledge you. And look, that'll bring happy tears to anybody's eyes, man. Like I say, it might be staged, but a lot of stuff will touch you. But anyway, my 30 minutes up, y'all. Almost up. But again, thank y'all so much for if y'all tuned in to my OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. But if y'all missed it, guess what? Just go to my channel on YouTube. I call it YouTube on Demand. OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It'll mean the world to me, and I really appreciate it. And those who have, I really want to thank y'all very, 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 very much. But anyway, I'm about to split for a few minutes, and I will be back during the 1 o'clock hour. I mean, I'm sorry. Forgive me, y'all. The 6 o'clock hour. That's when or either around by 7. Let's put it like this, y'all. I wanna go live when they have the kickoff match with John Cena and Atlanta, Georgia's own Austin Theory. Now, bruh might be from Atlanta, Georgia, but man, don't get up there trying to don't get up there try to be a butthole trying to make. I mean, don't try to make yourself look bad, bro. You making us look bad, man. But then again, at the same time, the way your career going, it's making you making Atlanta look good, man. You for real. You making that fans of Atlanta proud, especially from where you from, man. You right down the road. Well, we know when I was living in Georgia, you were right down the road. Henry County, yes, sir. But you know what though? You might have been from Henry County, but bro, I was right up the road. DeKalb. You stop. Look, you McDonough, I'm Decatur. But guess what? Get out there and represent the A-man. A-time peace, A-time down, baby. But guess what? I hate to say this, but John Cena's gonna kick your ass. But anyway, that's about the time. That's almost my time. And until then, I will catch y'all. I will catch y'all later on. Until then, I'm gonna end this with this song. And like I'm gonna tell you this. I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace. 2 fingers.